Thank you for having me, and it's a great honor to be here. I want to talk a little bit about the capital markets in Israel. Uh, the Ministry of Economy and the governor spoke a little bit about it earlier, but I would like to focus on the capital markets. So I will start with the end. In 2024, the Israeli leading index called Tel Aviv 125 did better than the S&P 500. So, and think about it, you are comparing a leading index of a country which is under war with missiles on Tel Aviv, and hundreds of thousands of people are reserved in the army, and still you compare it to, and you're comparing it to the S&P 500, I think the largest economy in the world, one of its best years, and still the Israeli stock exchange, a leading index in the stock exchange, did better. And I think that reflects the resilience of the Israeli market. And what we saw all over the year is resilience, a very non-panic behavior and a very calculated behavior. And I would like to reflect it with an episode. In the April 14th in 2024, the night between the 13th and the 14th, Iran attacked Israel. And they fired hundreds of missiles to Israel. We had few hours between the time they launched the missiles until the time they reached Israel. And during that time, I got, I think, dozens of calls and messages from mostly all of the leaders of the investment houses in Israel. They all warned me that tomorrow there's going to be a bloodbath in the markets. Some of them even urged me not to open the stock exchange tomorrow. But surprisingly, the next day came, people went to work, children went to school, and what we saw on the screens in the end of that day in the stock exchange, we saw green screens. I think this is something that reflects more than anything else the resilience of the Israeli market. And I'm saying I'm surprised because this is what happened to us, the regulators, throughout the whole year. Throughout the whole year, I think we prepared ourselves again and again to collapse in the markets, to disasters, to dramatic events. And believe me, I think every dramatic event that could have happened in Israel during last year. But again and again, we found ourselves that we were wrong. Again and again, we found a market which is very resilient and, as I said, with great results. And I'm talking about the capital market, but it's the same with the shekel. We had a very strong shekel. The tech industry, just a few months ago, Google bought one of the largest acquisitions in the last few years, bought a company named Wiz in $32 billion. And also, I think, everywhere in the Israeli economy. And I think from our perspective, as I said, it's reflect the resilience of the Israeli economy, but it's also one thing that we are taking from that is the importance of the global and interconnections with the global markets. When I came into office, that was one of my main roles, to deepen and strengthen the interconnections between the Israeli market, capital market, and global markets. And I think the war just strengthened the understanding that this is a very important thing to do to the Israeli capital market. And to start with, it is not such a hard mission because we have a very strong capital market. Israel, we have a very developed economy, advanced legal system, very advanced regulatory regime. We are familiar with international transactions, basically mostly because of our tech industry. We have good law firms, accountant firms that know how to deal with cross-border transactions, but there are still few areas that we need to deepen the interconnections between us and the global world. And I want just to say just one example for that, and the governor mentioned it before, and this is the trading days. The trading days in the stock exchange in Israel are, as of today, they are Sunday to Thursday. And this is the same as the working days in Israel. But we understood that if we want to deepen the connection between the Israel and the global markets, we have to adjust our trading days to what is common in the global markets. So we started a process to change the trading days and move them to Monday until Friday. It's not an easy movement because you understand it's if the whole working days in Israel are Sunday to Thursday, it's hard to move whole industry to different day working, but we understand that it is important and it is something that we need to do if we want to be part of the global market. And this is a process we started. I believe that we will finalize it in the end of this year. So hopefully in the beginning of 2026, the stock exchange in Israel will start working Monday till Friday. And as I said, this is just one example for our goal to be more connected and more aligned with best practice in the global markets. I'll stop here, I think.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much indeed.